come and give the presentation.
What,
I'd be happy to
Well,
share.
yeah,
A month ago?
it'd be great if we
6
had
weeks?
like an index where we could look things up. But since we don't, we'll just ask the question and wait for staff to tell us.
May 6th?
Right.
Did I get it?
May 6th.
No, they couldn't use it.
It was
I thought I
was
April
here.
14th. Were you not here on May 6th?
No, I was here for the presentation, May 20th, I wasn't.
To Mark's point, what we're hearing is that next year there is an intention to move forward with something, 750 maybe an appropriate
Big.
placeholder, and to bring back the segments to have decided final scope.
Well, I mean, we could talk about it now, let me see.
because the concern I have is if you.
One second, did
Sure.
they have anything in the agenda packet?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, it is on May 6th.
Okay.
Wesley, good
Got
job.
You guys have it?
Oh my God, he's,
Operating at full capacity tonight.
he's
Yes,
all eyes
budget
on.
update, one
It's a
plan,
blessing.
okay.
Where's the?
Phase two garage,
that's
if
what
option
she'll-
1A, 749.
Does the scope of this phase is the garage and the public, the meeting space?
Not the meeting space.
Okay, when's our deadline to do the meeting space before we would have to go to referendum to make it part of this project?
This year.
Oh, the only smaller one was 730, 1C, and that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Option C, smaller garage.
No, I thought we decided to go with more of the parking spaces, I thought
Mhm.
that's where we ended up, and not go for the public
760.
space at this point, since you'd have to sprinkle the whole thing.
Mhm.
And
That
we
was
didn't
a
know
major factor.
clearly what we were gonna do with this,
We did,
this public space
so you thought we were gonna do the option of,
has the most spaces for public.
I mean, I don't think we didn't ever take a vote on that. I mean,
No.
I know that certain of us were leaning
Right.
that way, but I don't think we ever took a vote on that. I think we kicked it down the road.
so do we need to come back at a meeting and, I mean, for long range plan, they're all about the same at 750. Do we
Yeah.
need to, yes.
I just don't wanna blur. My recollection was there was some discussion about maybe adjusting exactly where that divider between the potential future community room would be, or training room would be, and where the parking garage would end.
Right.
But basically, if there's no plan to implement a full-blown community space with the infrastructure for that this year, then at some future time, should the board decide to do that, that would either have to be paid for out of tax levy or by the tenant, or prospective tenant who would come in, or if it would be bonded, it would have to be bonded with the approval of the referendum. I mean, that's just a full disclosure
We need
that
to know that.
For
at
the
some point
community
going
room, we'd
forward,
have to
if
do a referendum. For the community room, we'd have to do a referendum.
if the village wanted to bond for that,
Oh,
yes.
right.
Otherwise, we could pay for it out of tax levy or have a tenant.
Or some combination of all that.
Yeah.
But the police building will be completed then next spring.
So
And that's
what projects do you have to bond for?
pretty much anything that is not police, library,
I'm
or
sorry,
housing,
I'm
public
sorry.
works vehicles and equipment.
Referendum, so anything except police, library,
And public works equipment,
you have to referendum.
yeah.
Okay. So for long range financial plan, there's not a huge variation in the
No.
dollar amounts,
Right.
so, it doesn't really matter, and I guess, yeah, if we have to go out to bid, then I think we'll have to come back and make a final decision.
Okay, great, then we'll plan on bringing that back to you and refreshing, the information will stay the same, but we'll make sure that Riley and the chief are there to answer any additional questions that you might have.
Okay.
Thank you for that clarification, that was really
Okay.
helpful.
And I guess if we know what our questions are, we can get them to you to make sure that.
Sure,
See that.
just to wet the palate, I'll send it out to you tomorrow.
Oh.
Good. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, when you wake up, it'll be there.
Yeah, send it at 11:30 tonight, actually.
What meeting did we, you put the link to the current long range financial plan in this meeting, right? So are there any other projects, was this the only outstanding thing we had to talk about in terms of projects, or are there any others in the plan that anybody wanted? I can't recall where we ended up at that meeting.
My recollection is that we've touched base on the full scope of projects. There's a couple projects that are becoming back with some additional information as that information becomes available, but I think the police building and just firming up that, you know, there's momentum to complete that project was really the last, from a long-range plan perspective, item that had been firmed up.
Okay, Wilson Drive Phase 2 is still in there. I'm not sure that, did we talk about that the last time?
We talked about it, when we discussed future plans and a review of some
Oh,
of the
right.
plans, and my off-the-cuff recollection of that is that there are still some areas of things in flux, such as what was gonna happen with the bus stop locations at MCTS. That's still not finalized,
Do you know when they're gonna finally make a decision on that?
they said spring, and now they're saying,
Well, still,
with the
So that
budget,
is still
The budget.
With the
is terrible.
budget.
They're not-
and so, I'm not sure, you know, they haven't been able to provide that, so we held on those, and from my calendaring perspective, we also discussed how it might be beneficial to see how some of the improvements took over this summer, and then there was some discussion about what would the benefit be of doing it in the fall, and then maybe it's something that we should calendar to revisit the concept of in the spring of 2020.
okay.
So that's where I put it, to remind me to come back and talk to you, cause you know me. I need to put it, I wanna put it somewhere, but we
We just don't know where to put it because it's not.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
the more projects we have on page 12 and 13 of the plan, you know, the bigger the debt service number
Mhm.
is at the bottom. I guess we know what our debt service is for 2020 though, so it's not gonna be a big issue for 2020 budget, okay.
That's correct, thank you.
Okay, so it's not a huge issue, okay. That's when I would have questions on.
Yeah.
Mike, there's a Hubbard parking lot is here at 2022. Is that, well,
It's not one of my priorities.
oh, it's not, I thought it was.
It
Not
did-
the
it didn't
lot.
come
Oh,
up
to
in-
clean up the middle of it, repave the pavers, the redesign of
think-
the whole.
I think what we talked about at that last meeting is that, our assessment of the condition of the lot itself is that needs
Needs to be.
attention as well.
Okay.
So probably those two things should be considered as a singular
Okay,
activity.
but there'd be the question, you wanna build the wall, redo the design, major
Well,
redesign of.
that's a question for you. I mean,
Right.
whether you think that would be a benefit worth the additional cost.
So much digging and bulldozing and other stuff they have, I'm like, oh, I don't know if we need to. I mean, in the DPW facilities, we're gonna have some discussions about the long-term plan
Mhm.
for that, okay. All right, I guess I'm okay with what's on here, so yeah, I think we're good.
I think we can come up with a second generation plan for you to work up all the numbers on, and then, of course, you know, it's a dynamic document, we can always continually reevaluate that as next year comes along as well.
I wanna thank you guys for this, really, I just think that the discussion has been outstanding. I really, Leanne and Joel and Mark, and continually going back and forth on different things, I don't know, it's been my second year kind of going through the process, but I just got a lot of value out of it this year with all of you, and kind of listening to what your input is and what the perspective is.
And thank you guys, these were very helpful
Yeah,
materials,
that
that
was
got our
really-
discussion very well.
Yeah, I knew it must have taken a lot of collaboration, and it's just great that we have the ability to do that across department,
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, it was a time
It
really
wouldn't-
well spent.
The board wouldn't
I
have
think-
gotten where we got without your willingness to pull that all together, so.
Thank you, so thank you for giving the time.
Thank you.
Yes, oh yes, thank you, Leslie.
Second.
Oh, okay, all in favor of adjournment?
You know,
Winter
we
desire
pass
is
resolutions
15.
for some, we don't for others, we've
So,
been pushing
yeah,
back.
we're working with the contractor on that right now.
You know how to turn this off, Brenda? Too far?
Are they sick?
Maybe more nimble than I am as well.
Sure, let me see. Parking lot and, are they got that in